Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Connecting Students to Learning Through Digital Tools. I'm your host, Shannon McClintock Miller. I'm the district teacher librarian at Van Meter Community School in Van Meter, Iowa. I also serve as the Future Ready Librarian spokesperson. You can find me on social at Shannon M. Miller. I blog at the Library Voice, and I added my email in case you have any questions after today's webinar. You'll be able to find all of the slides and resources at this bit.ly. So you're going to want to jot this down so you have it, or scan the QR code and save it to find all the great things that everyone shares today. Today for Digital Learning Day, I am so excited to welcome 10 friends as they each share their digital tool and explain how it helps make connections and personalize learning for students every day, everywhere. So let's get started. Well, I'm really excited to kick off our day of all these amazing people sharing things. And one of the best parts of kicking it off with Breakout EDU is it's with my dear friend, Adam Bello. So welcome, Adam. And we're so excited to have you share Breakout EDU today.
Oh, thanks so much, Shannon. It is our pleasure to be here. I'm so excited to be part of Digital Learning Day 2023, which is crazy. You guys have been doing such amazing stuff. I want to share a little bit about Breakout EDU. Breakout EDU, our mission is to unlock the love of learning. And a lot of people know Breakout from where we started, which was these physical kits. Basically, the kits would take the idea of an escape room and bring it to your classroom. And a lot of people, know that from years ago, but we've done a whole bunch of things in the last couple of years that I think are worth sharing. So I wanted to kind of bring everyone up to speed. We have, of course, our kits that allow you to turn any learning environment into a escape room, but we also have a digital platform that has so much more content that is perfect for any learning environment, and it's really great for students of all ages, and it really empowers learners to do a whole bunch of things. So I'll take you through it real fast. And as I said, it's really great for any learning environment. We have digital content, we have the physical kit games, and really the goal of that is to make it super, super engaging. So nothing, in my opinion, is more engaging and exciting than seeing kids literally out of their seats, working on these physical manipulatives, trying to solve academic puzzles that are aligned to content, but each of them are basically opening up a padlock on this locked box. And the kids really, really love it. It brings any learning space to life. There's also 1,000 standards aligned digital games you could find for any different topic that you possibly can imagine. And the best byproduct of all of this is that it's all focused around the 4C and SEL skills. So communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity all come to life when you challenge your learners to solve these academic puzzles together. We also have lots of really cool partnerships. Some of them have been done with like Netflix. We have a cool game about Stranger Things. We have these incredible authors. I know a mutual friend of ours, Peter Reynolds. We have a game for The Dot. We have a game for Escape from Mr. Lemoncella's Library. We have a lot of really good content that's aligned to things that kids are interested in, as well as content that they're probably being exposed to in other parts of the school. One of my personal favorite things, I know this is something that your kids at Van Meter have done as well, is our digital game design studio, where students literally become game designers. They use the same tools that our team has access to create their own digital experiences. So it's a super fun and super engaging way to get kids actually not just being consumers of content, but also with the creators of the content. And we have a whole bunch of different tools that will help support that, including a series of courses that explain how to do it. This is what the builder looks like. And one of the most exciting parts about it is that we have a partnership with Adobe Express, which makes building content right inside of Breakout EDU a breeze. So kids can literally come in, create whatever clue content they want. They could use Adobe Express's powerful engine. And then that picture that they build or that content can become part of their own digital game. So that those games can be shared with their classes and played by all their peers. A lot of fun. There's basically 4 components. We touched on all of them except for the first one, which is really the best way to get started with Breakout EDU. It's our lock of the day. Every single day of the week, we are launching a single lock puzzle, which is great for kind of getting the day started and challenging students' brains and kind of getting them excited about the learning. This lock of the day is something that is gamified so that the students actually can get a weekly streak. They could solve them every single day of the week. Then we have our longer form digital games, which I explained a little while ago. Those games, another cool fun fact about that is you can actually copy those games as a teacher and edit them however you want. So using the same builder, you could make them longer, you could take out a puzzle, you could change it, whatever you want to do is perfect. kit-based games, as I said before, that really immersive, really interactive experience that the kids can actually get up and really kind of discover learning together, practice those 4C skills, and then bring it to the next level with our game design studio. All of these things kind of combine to make up what is Breakout EDU. And so that's kind of just a little bit of what we have to offer here. And it's really a perfect thing to kind of not only build relationships within the class and really focus on those skills, but also make learning fun, which is all what it's all about. So feel free to keep in touch. Here's some contact information for the company. If you have any questions, reach out. We'd love to help.
Thank you so much, Adam. As usual, all the things that you had to share, I can say that we're doing them in Van Meter, and one of our kids' favorite things to do is to go to the Breakout EDU games. And so we appreciate all the great things that you create and that your team shares. You guys are amazing.
Well, feeling is mutual. Thanks so much, Shannon.
Thank you. Now I'm excited to introduce my friend Stephanie from Merge.
Hi, Shannon. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having Merge on today, Shannon. It's always a pleasure to see you. And we're really excited to share about Merge. So first, you can follow Merge on Twitter. There's a little @MergeVR right there on my picture. And I guess I should introduce myself. So I'm the community manager at Merge. I get to run our ambassador program and go to events. And I'm just really excited to share what Merge does. So what does Merge do? We create Merge EDU, which is apps. It's basically 3 apps and a web-based dashboard along with the Merge Cube. You can see in that little video, we've got a student holding their Merge Cube and interacting with the tectonic plates all around the world. And so you can use Merge apps to learn about science and STEM, and you can even upload your own content to the Merge Cube as well. So I'm just going to share for a couple of minutes about the 3 apps and then the dashboard, and then I'll even show you how you can try it out yourself for free. So we'll go ahead and get started. So the first app is called Merge Explorer. Merge Explorer is super engaging for students. It's got mostly science content that students can actually interact with. So they can do science experiments like melting ice, creating steam, and then refreezing the water to create ice again. So they can learn all about different things. They're very interactive and visual, and there's even activity plans, teachers, and integrated quizzes. So you don't even have to come up with the activities to go with this app because we've already done that for you. So it's really engaging, again, for the kiddos, and it helps them remember what they learned. And the next app is called Merge Object Viewer. I know, Shannon, you've used this one a lot with your students because you guys actually create your own 3D models with Tinkercad. And then you can upload them and hold them on the Merge Cube. So it's really great for 3D print preview, but we also have a lot of really incredible, we call them digital teaching aids that are inside the app already. So things like rocks and minerals, animal skulls, life cycles, all sorts of science content you can hold, you can learn with, you can interact with it as well. So we have almost 1,000 already there, but like I said, you can upload your own as well. And then finally, we have another app called Merge HoloGlobe. HoloGlobe is our newest app. And what it does is it connects with NASA and NOAA satellite and sensor data. It kind of funnels it through the app, and then students can interact with this content on their Merge Cube that becomes a globe. So things like rainfall, cloud coverage, sea surface temperature, land surface temperature, even ice, all around the world, students can visualize this real science data in the palm of their hand. So that's really awesome. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the dashboard too. So the dashboard is really like the hub for all of the Merge EDU resources, right? You can upload objects, you can add your students. So if I'm a teacher, I can make my classes, and then my classes would be able to log into the apps and then also be able to upload their own objects. I can share app content with students. There's STEM projects too. We haven't even talked about the STEM projects where students will use their Merge EDU dashboard and then another app like Tinkercad or a Minecraft EDU, and they'll actually create something, right? So students can go through the engineering design process to create a 3D model, and then some of them even have a 3D print component. So if that's something that you have at your campus, we'd love for you to try that out. And so I'm going to share how to do that. So you can actually try Merge EDU for free today. You can scan this QR code and it will unlock a free trial for you for 2 weeks. You will get a school-wide license, so you'll be able to add students, add classes, invite them to join, and then you'll get access to everything, all the activity plans, the STEM projects, and students will be able to have all the app content as well. And to get a free Merge paper cube, if you don't already have a Merge cube, you would just go to mergecube.com/paper. There's a printable PDF with instructions how to print it and build it. So that's even a fun activity that students can do, is they can build their own cube and then interact with the content that way. So I know I just went over a lot very quickly, but I promise if you scan this QR code, you'll get emails from us with the links to download the apps and everything you need to get started with your Merge EDU free trial.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. One of our favorite things at Van Meter is Merge, and we're actually getting ready with our first graders. They will hatch chickens pretty soon, eggs, and they'll be studying like all the process of the chick. And so we'll be using Merge. And so just great content for all ages. And I just appreciate you sharing so much, Stephanie. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Shannon.
I'm so excited to have my friend and fellow Iowan presenting about the News Literacy Project. This is Shaylin.
Hello, everyone. Shaylin Farnsworth, and I am from the News Literacy Project. We are a national nonpartisan nonprofit, and we support educators by creating free classroom resources to use with their students to help build a future founded on fact. We were started in 2008, and we believe that education is the most effective approach. It empowers people to think for themselves and recognize credible sources of information, as well as misinformation. News literacy education empowers people to take responsibility for their information and help stop the spread of misinformation. Because of this, we believe that news literacy should be a graduation requirement for all students, so they graduate smart and active consumers of news and information, and are informed and engaged and empowered individuals in their civic lives. So I am thrilled to be here with all of you. I'm excited to share our free educator resources and programs. So let's jump in. As you see before you and in the linked document that you will receive at the end, we have tons of free educator resources and programs. Checkology is our flagship browser-based platform that houses all of our lessons, along with the SIFT, a weekly newsletter, Newslet Nation, our community of educators, Newslet camps, resource libraries. So we have a full suite of programs and resources for educators to use in their classroom to help students in news and media literacy learning, and all completely free. I wanted to share with you some exciting new lessons we launched at the beginning of this year on Checkology. As I said, Checkology houses our lessons. You do not have to download any software, and it's used from ELA teachers, social studies teachers, supported widely by media and librarian specialists across the United States. But we just launched this year a group of STEM lessons for science educators. As you see before you, be health informed, making sense of data and evidence of science-based claims. So this is a great resource for STEM teachers, science teachers, librarians, supporting their colleagues. All of our lessons are taught by subject matter experts. Melissa Clark teaches Be Health Informed, CC Way, Making Sense of Data, and Melanie Tressick King, Evaluating Science-Based Claims. In these lessons, subject matter experts use short videos to teach students the learning objectives, such as I can evaluate health and wellness information. I can explain what data is, and I can differentiate between science-based claim and non-science-based claims. All of our lessons are multimodal and use best practices in teaching and learning, built-in formative assessment where students have multiple attempts, and really hones those skills. So students are equipped with critical thinking skills, being taught how to think, not what to think. So definitely check out our new collection of STEM resources on our platform. This is one of my favorites, Shannon, and I think that you would definitely use this with your students. Students like 5 tips that they can put in their toolbox and use when they encounter online information. This is called Is It Legit? And it is taught by NLP's very own Hannah Covington, a former journalist. And she gives students 5 steps for vetting online sources, pulling in different examples from TikTok to Facebook to Instagram. She really makes it relevant and engaging for students and gives them 5 practical tips to use when encountering online information. This is another new one we released. It kind of goes along with the STEM collection. This is a challenge on Checkology, and it is taught by Dr. Kat, who is an influencer and an epidemiologist on TikTok. So you'll see all of her videos and all of her examples are TikToks. And it really helps students understand the levels of scientific evidence. I would have used this in my own freshman English class so students know where to pull their research, what makes something credible evidence, and lets people know that anecdotes are not the same as randomized trials, for instance. So this is actually a trio. She not only has a challenge, but she has a short skills video on Checkology and a wonderful infographic for you to use with your students. Finally, probably one of our most proudest and most detailed, best resource that we have launched this year and possibly on Checkology history is this new lesson on the history of harm and distrust. It is taught by subject matter expert Natalie Moore. She is a journalist in Chicago, and this is about the history of harm caused by racist and substandard journalism resulting in legacy distrust among Black Americans. It focuses on accurately describing the shameful history of racism in mainstream news without exasperating the sense of cynicism or nihilism. It really empowers students to understand the difficult historical truths while helping them pave a path forward. And it focuses on, again, on that history of mistrust and distrust by Black Americans across the U.S. So it's, again, something that has taken us a long time to develop. Natalie Moore is the subject matter expert, a fantastic lesson to use in your classroom. And we are so pleased to be sharing this with educators across the nation. So that is what is new on our platform, Shannon. I know that was a quick rundown, but like I said, everything is completely free to use. This is a QR code that you can scan. This will give you a Google document with all of the links that I just shared, along with contact information. I know that you were going to provide a collection at the end, but I want to thank you for asking us to join you. And like I said, we are used by educators across the nation to help them in their news and media literacy solutions.
Thank you so much. That was great. And all these things on here, like Shaylin said, are free and just amazing for us to use as librarians and educators and to share with others. So we're grateful that you joined us today.
Thanks, Shannon.
Next up, I am excited to invite Stick Together to share, and my dear friend Sylvia is going to tell us all about the amazing things around Stick Together. Welcome.
Thanks so much for having me. This is so wonderful. So I'm Sylvia Stein, and I'm the founder creator of Stick Together. And our mission is to provide inclusive experiences where all ages can relax, be themselves, and be part of something special. So really, we're celebrating the community building power of making together. And so we started with physical kits, but there are only a handful of participants can work at one time. So we have a digital sticker boards, which I'm going to focus on today. And they're up to about 300 or more participants can work together, and everyone participates. No one is left out. So not forwarding, here we go. So here, I'm just going to show you some videos quickly so you can sort of see it in action. They're all going at once, but you can see here. Well, I'm trying to stop this one. But this is sort of funny that they're all together, but you can sort of see the excitement of them all working together. So they're zoomed in, they're working on their own devices, but the image is up on the big screen. So that didn't really work, but you get a feeling for the excitement that they're all engaged in. So when do you stick together? You can follow us on social, and what you'll see is that our community is incredible in terms of the way they use Stick Together. So you'll see all kinds of different uses, but here are some examples. As a bell ringer activity, a reward for early finishers. We have over 80 images to choose from, so you can choose images that relate to the curriculum. It's a community builder, an icebreaker, but mostly it's just fun. There's an activity that just, everybody can participate in. They see the image coming together. And I want to just run through sort of how it works, because it's pretty simple. You sign in to Let's Stick Together. There's a link below. The virtual sticker boards is linked below. There's no password required, but you confirm your email address. Then you go to the gallery. And as I said, we have many, many images, and we're always changing them. And you choose an image. Then you give it a name. And we say, make sure don't give away the image and the name, because the mystery is part of it. They try and guess what it is. And that's a big excitement as they're building the image together. And then there's many ways to configure the dashboard. You can limit how many stickers each person can add per day. You can put the QR code on the front of the sticker board. I'll talk about that in a minute. And you can open or close the message board, and you can add a final message. So there's lots to do here in terms of configuring it for your community. And there's a lot of trial and error to sort of see what works for your community. And here's the most important thing on the dashboard. This is the link that you use to share. It's like an invitation link. Anybody who has access to this link or to the QR code just jumps right onto the sticker board and can participate. So just here is an image of what they see when they see the sticker board. And as you can see, there's a QR code, so anyone walking by could just get their devices and jump right on. They click on a color, and then they can also make sure to click on this magnifying icon here, and then you click on a section, and that blows it up, and then they can all be sticking together. Now here you can see there's only one person. But when there's many, many people working together, this image can come together very, very quickly. So that's our virtual sticker boards, and we hope that you'll try them out. They're free. And we also have another virtual product, which really came from the community. And here students can go on and create their own pixel art. So they click on a color and they make their own pixel art. And as you can see here, this is the image that someone, like a first grader, made. And then you can download the PDF. And so here on the left is the PDF worksheet of that image, along with our color key and some stickers that are extra stickers from our kits, but also you can buy the packs. And so the kids can make their own art and then stick together and make the images. And we have some amazing blogs that Shannon's done that talk about this more. And here are some images that some of her students made, and some more here. And this I just love. These are self-portraits that they made, all using our pixel art canvas. So we hope that you will play around with that lots more. And the last thing I want to share just really quickly is a new product we have coming out that's going to be pretty exciting. It's called Puzzle Face. This is a sneak peek. We don't have it out yet, but it's a puzzle. It's 300 pieces. Everybody gets the same 300 pieces. On the left is one side of the pieces. On the right is where you flip them over. Each piece is identified with the numbers 1 through 60 with one of 5 colors. And what's magic about this is with those 300 pieces, you can make any face. So all of these faces were made with the exact same 300 pieces. And here's sort of a little sneak into how it works. You upload a picture, you obtain the mosaic, and then you get the image key on the right. And we like to divide kids up and have them work on it together. Here you can see they're creating their section together. Then they put the sections together and lift it up. And they have the image. You can see on the left, those are 5th graders. So that's Stick Together very quickly. We're really about building friendships, bringing kids together and having fun. And here's our website, and follow us on social. And I'm happy to get emails from anyone on any questions that they have. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. And as she shared and showed, there are just so many ways that kids can stick together using all of these products. So we're really thankful that you joined us today.
Thanks so much for having me. Really a pleasure.
And now we have Novel Effect. This is one that everyone is going to absolutely love. If you have not played or heard or checked out all the amazing things that Novel Effect has to offer us as librarians and teachers and students and even families, you're in for a treat. And I couldn't think of a better person to tell us about this than my friend, Kathy. Welcome, Kathy.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. My name is Kathy Kursnowski. I am the Community Connections cheerleader for Novel Effects. So I help to build community and just rah-rah this awesome product that I'm so in love with, and I'm really lucky to be able to work for this company. Also on the side, I'm a technology integration specialist, so I'm still in schools and I still get to see the magic that this brings. So I've got my foot in both worlds, and I think you're just going to love Novel Effect. So I'm here to tell you a little bit about it. It's an app that helps you bring your read alouds to life. So children's books, picture books that you have in your own classrooms or your homes or in your school libraries, it adds a whole layer of magic to those as you read aloud from books like you do anyway. Novel Effect is an app. It's available on iOS, on Android, and also now on Chromebook. It's available. And so basically you open an app, and as you read that children's book, it listens to your voice, and it has voice activated sounds that happen, soundscapes. So character voices and music and animal sounds and whooshes and whirs and zings and all kinds of things that go in time with the words that you're reading. It responds to your voice in real time. It's really magical. So I'd like to show you a little bit more about that. Novel Effect has over 1,000 titles that have individually created soundscapes. And I always say they have their own personality. They have their own flavor, each book that's been individually created by our master soundscapes. It's adding those sounds, those voices, and the words that you say trigger those sounds to happen. It's really amazing. Even if you pause to talk to a student on the rug or somebody comes to your door, Novel Effect will just kind of loop and wait for you to resume reading words that are in the book. So it really is responding to your voice in real time as you read. And here's just a picture of what it looks like in the app. So there's a beloved book called The Couch Potato by Jory John. And if you can see that iPhone on the screen, these are the directions. You basically select the book that you're going to read by searching for it. You find the book in Novel Effect, and you tap on that little note app, and it says print under the note app. That simply means you're going to read from a print copy of the book. And once you hear a little magical chime, you'll begin reading out loud, and then the magic begins. So here's a little video that will show it to you, and then I'll read a couple of pages to you just after this so you can get a little sense for how it works. This little short video will show better than I can.
The easiest way to find your book in Novel Effect is to type the name, author, or keyword into the search bar at the top of the app. Then tap on your book in the list of search results. If you want to read from a print copy of the book that you have on hand, tap Print Or if you don't have a physical copy with you, you can tap on ebook to read the ebook version right in the app. When you hear the startup chime, it's time to read aloud.
And so now it's time for us to experience a read aloud. And I'm going to actually stop sharing my screen. I'll come back on the screen so you can see me again. And it's a Jury John kind of a day because I've brought the cool bean to read to you today. In order to do that, I've got the Novel Effect app. I've got it open. I selected the book, The Cool Bean. I'm going to tap that button that says print. I'll wait to hear the chime. And I do have a Bluetooth speaker hooked to this because it makes it even more cinematic and dramatic. So as soon as I hear the chime sound, it's ready to start listening to me. I can put my phone down. I'm no more screen time. I'll put it down. I just need it close enough so it can hear my voice as I start to read The Cool Bean. Watch out. Here come the cool beans. The cool beans.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Check out how they move. Look at the way they swagger. Notice their sunglasses? Yow. The cool beans are known all over school, from house to house, across town, and beyond county lines. But in the olden days, last year, we were all one big pot of beans. We were a mixed bag, but somehow it worked. Yeah, those were the good old days. That's where I'm going to stop, but you get a sense of how it works. It's really responding to my voice and the words that I read as I read them. So if I can share my screen one more time, I'll come back and let you know just a few more details about Novel Effect. I wanted to let you know, now that you know what the app does, it's amazing. That's where the magic happens, in the app. But we also have a website that has a wealth of resources, and I didn't want you to leave without knowing about it. If you go to the website noveleffect.com and click on that resources tab that's up at the top, you will find all kinds of goodies. You will find on our website book activity packets that are so rich and robust. There's a little sample of some of the things you'll see in the Stella Luna pack, but I can tell you that the Stella Luna pack is over 40 pages of activities for that one book alone that span from pre-K through 5th grade. So they're highly differentiated. There's some literacy things, some math things, some arts and crafts things, all kinds of discussion questions and prompts, and even some websites and some things to try at home. So it's really diverse activity packs that we have on our website that go along with many of our books. We also have a list of all of our titles, so if you wanted to access that and see what we have, like I said, over 1,000 books, all of our webinars that we've done, pre-recorded and ones that you can register for in the future, our pricing information, funding resources if you need a little help from your PTO, a principal, writing a grant, we have that wording there for you, blog posts that we've written, and you can even request swag or to have somebody from Novel Effect do a virtual presentation for you. And all that's available on the website. So we hope that you'll be excited about Novel Effect, and we hope that you'll check it out. Happy reading.
Thank you so much, Kathy. I just love Novel Effect and all of the things that it brings to us. And one thing I think that is so great that I'm glad you mentioned are the resources that are online too, because not only do we have those soundscapes to bring our books to life, but those really support us as librarians and classroom teachers too. So we are just loving those at my school, and I can't wait for everyone to check them out.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I hope everybody who is joining us today gets a chance to check out Novel Effect.
Well, I have to say that this might be one that my kids at Van Meter will be so excited to hear about, because they all love Scratch. And I couldn't be more excited myself to have someone all the way from MIT today talking to us about Scratch and the Scratch Foundation. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I'm going to let you go ahead and kick it off, and you can introduce yourself, Francisco, and tell us all about the great things that you do at Scratch.
Sure. My name is Francisco Cervantes. Well, before I tell you a little bit about myself, representing the Scratch Foundation today. And Scratch Foundation is a nonprofit organization that supports the design, development, and management of Scratch, the world's largest and most diverse free coding community for kids. As you mentioned, our roots are from MIT Media Lab, and specifically the Lifelong Kindergartner group who developed Scratch. And we've grown. We've become our own 501c3, and with Scratch, millions of young people around the world can create their own interactive games, stories, animations, to share their creations with others, get feedback, get some love, get some new ideas. And in the process, we hope that kids learn to think creatively, reason systematically, and work collaboratively. Our overview about Scratch projects is that it's a global research-based visual programming experience that provides equitable creative coding for all students. So on the slide, the Scratch Cat, of course, is one of our famous characters. And so I'll tell you a little bit about him in a bit. My name is, as I mentioned, Francisco Cervantes. I'm Director of Creative Learning with the Scratch Foundation. I lead the Creative Learning team, which supports the implementation of creative learning opportunities. I'll take apart a little bit about what creative learning means in a bit. And so my work is in setting the direction for the development of our resources, our curriculum, our professional development opportunities, and initiatives that we offer through the Scratch Foundation. I work with our partners and our organizations in ensuring that Scratch learning practices and resources align with the principles of creative learning. So in this next slide, Scratch and Scratch Junior have become the industry standard for coding platform for kids. At the top, you see our coding platform for Scratch, and underneath for Scratch Junior. Scratch is designed for ages 8 and up, and Scratch Junior is designed for ages 5 and up, but usually that sweet spot is 5 and 8. And part of our work is in adding new features, supporting new devices, and connecting new sensors and kind of hardware extensions that support integration with Scratch and other web services. And so we've, as I mentioned, you've probably seen a lot of coding platforms out there. And these coding platforms allow for a very visual programming experience where you can click and drag your blocks and create any sort of ideas and stories. The Scratch Cat, a little insight: the Scratch Cat has no name because we didn't. And specifically, some folks are like, "What's the name?" And it's such a popular character, but we didn't name the Scratch Cat because we wanted you to delete the Scratch Cat right away and add your own image, your own character, your own animal that you uploaded, perhaps, or a art from our library. And part of that is so you embed your own self into that design right away. And so that's why we didn't give a Scratch Cat a name. We want you to not get so enamored, I guess, with the Scratch Cat. Turns out a lot of people love the Scratch Cat. We wanted you to build your own program, your own self into that project. As a lot of our focus is on providing equitable creative coding. And so we are committed to equity in computer science and reaching all children from all backgrounds. As sometimes I forget to mention it, but Scratch is free and you don't have to download anything. You can get started right away with Scratch and Scratch Junior. Scratch Junior is a mobile application that works on Android and Apple devices, but you don't have to. It's free. It's fully accessible. Our code was actually open source, and you can check that out as well. But part of the intention is that you don't. We feel that all youth should have an opportunity with computational literacy and to be able to engage in their own creativity through coding. We partner, and through that work, we partner with a lot of organizations, and this is just a small subset of organizations. I think initially when we developed this slide, we just had to highlight some of those initiatives, but we have been working with about 200 organizations through our Scratch Education Collaborative in not only promoting the use of Scratch, but learning kind of the different environments and contexts in which Scratch is used, getting some feedback, getting ideas, and really working on how we can localize our resources, which may mean translating some of our resources, but also provide them into a context that's relevant to a culture and to a space, right? And so that's a lot of the work that we do. There are, as mentioned, there are a lot of coding platforms, and since Scratch started, a lot of coding platforms have picked up that flag and that itch for coding in a way. And so, but one of the things that Scratch has is online community, and I challenge all of the coding platforms out there for an opportunity to share your project, to remix it. And so our online community is a space for kids to learn digital citizenship skills as they comment and share and remix in the Scratch community. This is the front page of Scratch. And so in the front page, we have featured projects from Scratchers, just your kids, for Scratchers across different ages, to share their projects, to share their studios as well. Studios is kind of, I think of it as an art studio, as a collection around a theme. We design and promote studios as well. And so that's what my team does. And part of our work is it's not just enough to create a project, but being able to share that and get feedback from it, being able to remix someone else's project, to give credit, to talk about your project, to know how to give feedback, to know how to be nice when giving feedback, to know how to be friendly, to use appropriate vocabulary. That's a lot of what happens in the online community. And Scratch is also, as I think I mentioned earlier, but it's translated into more than 64 languages, and completely from the editor, the online community as well. And there's we constantly get new members, and we welcome you into the community. And part of our work is also in upgrading moderation tools to manage that growing scale. I think I heard a stat the other day that there's 5,000 projects uploaded per hour. And so part of that requires a lot of moderation. And a lot of that is built off our community guidelines. We can't just have an online space without any sort of guidelines. And so part of those community guidelines are meant to support your creativity, to support your participation in that community. So we model how to give feedback, how to be kind, how to remix projects and give credit and cite your sources. A lot of that is included in the community guidelines. So I encourage parents, family members, Scratchers to check out the community guidelines as they dive into the Scratch online community. A lot of my work is in cultivating the next generation of creative thinkers. And so with Scratch, as I mentioned, our focus and we think that learners can have an opportunity to think creatively, reason systematically, and work collaboratively. And we don't think that those are just tools for computer scientists. Like with Scratch, of course, you're participating in coding projects, but Scratch and its products are not just meant for creating computer scientists. If that's what you want to pursue as a career or as a profession, go for it. But we feel that artists, politicians, anyone should have an opportunity to develop these skills as they go. And so regardless of what you want to do, you may hire a developer, you may work with someone and perhaps creating a light show behind your band, right? And so how do you use that vocabulary? How do you express yourself? And so that's a lot of our work is in developing those skills, and we focus on a big part of that is developing computational literacy. And so one of the things that we're excited to talk about as well are the lessons and activities that we've developed for the Achievery. And so those activities, those lessons are a collection of activities and ideas and strategies designed to support educators in exploring creative computing inside the classroom. And I mentioned creative computing as well earlier in creative coding. And so we feel that Scratch's guiding principles and approach to creative learning really focuses on these 4 Ps, which includes projects, passions, peers, and play. And so as you engage with those activities, we hope that you use them as a guide, as an approach to creating and enhancing your own lessons and activities. And so with projects, we feel that Scratch is based around kids making projects. And it's not just about solving a problem, but moving on to the next problem, as often happens in school assignments, but rather working on a project where you have an idea and you carry it through the project that you can share with others. A lot of our, as I mentioned, the Scratch cat has no name, and even though we start off with a white background, we want you to build your own passion into those projects, your own sense of self into those projects. And part of the online community is around sharing projects and giving feedback. And so that's a big part of what it means to be a peer. And creative learning takes place most effectively when you're working with and learning from other people. And so we encourage Scratchers to communicate with others in the community. In those lessons and activities, we constantly encourage sharing the projects, giving feedback in either a small classroom format or online, modeling that feedback, knowing what feedback to include back in your project. Those are important skills and important opportunities. And the last P is play. And when we say play, we don't just mean laughing and having fun. We see play as an attitude, as a form of not just an activity, but it's an approach to engagement where you're constantly trying new things, experimenting, testing new boundaries. Play to me is also kind of productive play. It's the sense that I'm trying something out, seeing what happens, reading my code, and then trying something else out, right? And you do that in other forms of play. In several environments of play, you're able to try things out, experiment as you go. And so those are a lot of what guides our work at the Scratch Foundation.
Amazing. I could sit here all day and listen to things about Scratch, and can't wait to share again with my kids that I got to meet you and just to hear all the amazing work that you do. And we are also loving those lessons that you have with the Achievery. And so we hope to see more of those amazing lessons too. Those are really great.
Awesome. Great to hear that. And one, perhaps I'll give you one little bit of insight for your kids is about the name of Scratch. The name of Scratch, sometimes folks think that it came from the cat scratching, but it comes from a history of DJs, scratching records, remixing records to make a full track or a new piece of art, right? And so you can you let them know next time that a scratch best works when you're listening to music in the background. But really, we pay homage to hip hop culture and hip hop history and the scratching that came out from that.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much for joining me. It was really great to meet you and to hear all about Scratch.
Thanks for having me.
Now we're going to go to bottle learning. This is a new one for me this year and for our teachers and our students and Van Meter, and we are loving it. And so I am so excited today to have Edna on from this amazing math site. You guys are going to love learning about this, and I'm going to let her take it from here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shannon. Super excited to join you today and share more about bottle learning and how we are helping educators facilitate learning and helping students, have a new love for learning, especially in math. And so just a bit of background. So I'm the co-founder of Bottle, founded this company alongside my husband. And we're both really passionate about games and education and the intersection of games and education, and how, it can really be used to inspire kids to love learning. And so we started Bottle. We launched in 2020 with the heart and mission of really meeting students where they were at in their learning journeys. So we focus on kindergarten through 6th grade math and English now. Actually, we're adding English subjects on there, but primarily K through 6 math. And as students go through the learning content, it's adaptive. So it's adapting up or down based on their levels and allowing educators to identify where those learning gaps are. We also have a portal for teachers where they can go in and select specific assignments for their students based on skills that they're already, tackling and working on in the classroom. So with what you're looking at the screen right now, what you see right in the middle, it's a little bit of the gameplay that you're seeing on the 2 screens there. And then the bigger screen is the teacher portal where teachers can go in, customize their assignments, their classrooms. Kids go through a placement test when they first start Bottles, so educators are able to see what level they're at on as well. And on the right side, I wanted to just highlight some of the features in here that our teachers love. And what's really special is when we launched in 2020, we had a lot of teachers kind of give us suggestions. Hey, you should add this and you should add that. And so majority of the features that we have on Bottle have been teacher requested. And so we're excited about that because we know it's actually features that teachers find really valuable. So first is the text to speech. So for each question, it reads it out for them. And this helps a lot with students that might have a little bit of trouble, reading, especially when you think of long word problems. We've got explanations and rationales. So if they get the question wrong, a rationale pops up explaining what the right answer is. A sketch tool for students to sketch on the screen, video tutorials. So there's a little TV icon. So if they're having struggling with specific topic, they can click on that and a video will play explaining that topic to them. And of course, integrations with Google Classroom and Clever, which just makes rostering and signing on really, really simple. And something that was big for us is making sure we're aligned to state standards. And so the next slide I have here, again, speaks to those tools that I was mentioning on here: sketch tool, text to speech, the instructional videos, and the different types of questions that we have popping up. So the best way to use Bottle in and out of the classroom, we're excited because we're not just a tool that's used in the classroom. We're used in after-school programs, we're used at home. So some of the ways is self-guided practice. Because it's adaptive, kids can get on there and it's adapting to their learning level. So if they need something more challenging, it's increasing the rigor. If they're having challenges as they're going through the math content, it adapts down and targets the specific skills that they're struggling on and the foundational skill that they need to strengthen. Targeted practice is great in a classroom setting. If a teacher knows these are the specific skills I want kids to practice, they can just assign those on Bottle. During math rotations, as an early finisher exercise for kids who are done with specific classroom work early, and then as a healthy screen time option at home as well. What I love is in after school programs, just them being able to carry on whatever students are doing in the classroom to the after school program. So they're continuing to work on their grade level content. And to make it really, learning has to be connected and personal. And so some of the fun features we have in Bottle is multiplayer feature for kids. So they're not just playing with themselves, they can play with their friends. And for example, if I'm in, if we're both in second grade, but maybe I'm struggling on specific first grade skills, I would get my first grade skills, you would get your second grade skills, but we can still play together in a lot of these interactive games. And one thing that we really like is allowing kids to explore different ways to learn. And so we've got an AR mode on there as well through a collaboration with AT&T, where you get to bring their Bottle characters and Bottle pets to life and go through the gameplay and the questions through AR.
And I must say the characters are adorable.
Thank you so much.
I know. Well, this was so great. And we are excited to have everyone who is tuning in today for the digital learning webinar check out Bottle and get to know all of the amazing things about it. So we're really thankful that you joined us today.
Thank you so much, Shannon.
Okay, next up, we have my friend Angie from Capstone, and she is going to share one of our favorite tools at Van Meter, PebbleGo Create. Used to be Bunsey, and I can't wait for you to learn more from Angie about this amazing tool.
Hi, Shannon, and hi, friends out there in the world. I am so excited and honored to be here today to talk about PebbleGo Create. I work at Capstone, and I'm a former teacher, also known as a teacher in the wild. And so at Capstone, we help kids succeed by making learning fun. And I hope you have fun with me over the next 5 minutes as I show you our amazing tools. So in order to talk about PebbleGo Create, I really need to start with PebbleGo itself, because that's what makes PebbleGo Create so powerful. So if I put back on my kindergarten teaching hat, when I was looking for technology to use with my students, I was looking for something easy that they could guide themselves in and really let their curiosity lead the way. And so PebbleGo is a tool that I found and later on used as a technology integrationist working with other teachers for many different research projects. Now, fast forward many years, and here I am at Capstone using this wonderful tool, building it out, and we just created PebbleGo Create, and they go together in the same environment. So students, our learners now, can go to PebbleGo, do their research, and then easily show us what they've learned and what they know in a PebbleGo Create creation. So that's what we're going to talk about today, and I'm going to dive in a little bit deeper. On my screen, you can see a screenshot of PebbleGo. And what I'm hoping you notice on this screen is that it's made for early to non-readers. Think kindergarten through 5th grade content. We even have kids in middle school and high school using it. Our students go here as a safe, trusted place to do their research, and we built it in a way that supports them either through visual, through pictures, through audio, so they can really come in here and let their inquiry lead the way. So in this example, we have our frogs article, and I could have my students go here. They could search for it by typing the word frogs. At the top of my screen here, you'll see, oops, I'm going to go back. You'll see that there's breadcrumbs, so they can get here by pictures. Or as a teacher, I have this really handy direct link, and I could put this right into my LMS or something like Seesaw, because we play well with others. I also have the ability to switch this article right over to Spanish. So for my English language development friends or my immersion classrooms, this is a great tool to have with your students for research. So the power of PebbleGo is that the information is at their fingertips and they can guide their learning, easily get in, and they can explore. Now, where the magic happens is with this button down here called Create. So my classroom now has a tool that has one environment where they can go and consume this information and learn, and then easily jump in and create to show me what they know. And we have a variety of tools built in to make it easy for them, whether they want to find pictures that were already created, draw their own pictures, take a video, take a picture, record their voice. There are many different ways for many different learners. And then we have this handy dandy QR code built right in so they can easily share it with their peers in their classroom. So it's as simple as step 1, going to PebbleGo, doing your research, finding something that you want to share with others and clicking create, then deciding, do you want to create something new? Do you want to go from one of our templated activities, or do you already have one started that you want to go back to? And once you get in, you can start creating right away. So if what I've said so far has intrigued you and you want to learn more, we'd love to invite you to our website to check out PebbleGo Create, which you see here on the screen. And while you're writing this down, I'm going to transition over and show you live the power of PebbleGo Create in our Capstone environment. So I'm going to switch my screen share. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to move my toolbar. Here we are in PebbleGo. And like I mentioned before, I could come up here and I could start to type the word frog. But if I'm an early to non-reader and I'm not spelling yet, I could also go visually. And as a teacher, I can come over here, turn off that hover sound if I don't want it to interrupt me while I'm teaching. But as a student, if I leave my hover sound on, it will read to me as I go. So here we go. I'm going to look for frogs. I'm going to go to animals, and then I think I remember a frog is an amphibian. So I'm going to go in there. Oh, and look, there's my frog. So I'm in. I got to my article. Like I mentioned before, there's that read to me with that natural voice audio. So it's a person reading to me. I could have this article read to me. And once there's something I've learned that I want to share, I go down here to the bottom and I click create. When I do that, I have my option. Do I want to start from scratch? Do I want to do it from an activity template? Or do I want to go back to where all of the other things are that I've already created and add on to something that I already started? Well, for this example, I'm going to use an activity. And this one's all about show and tell. So I'm going to show you what I've learned about frogs and tell you what I think is cool. And the way I can do that are through different mediums. For example, I can come over here and I can type the word frog. And we have pictures and we have GIFs. We have fun things that might help me teach you about frogs. So I'm going to find one about frogs. I'm going to add it to my template. And I learned that they live by lakes. Okay, so I'm going to type in lake. I'm going to add an image of a lake. Then I'm going to go over here and I think I want to draw something. I'm going to draw a heart around the lake because that is where they love to live. They love to be by water. And then I think I'll record a video. So I'm not quite sure how it's going to work in this screen recording, but if I click this, it just pops it right up within my video. We'll move on, but that's where the video is. I think it's messing with Zoom. And I can take a picture of myself. I can upload something that I already have on my device. And then when I'm ready to share it with my class, I can either click a QR code and it creates one right here for this beautiful image that I've made about PebbleGo frogs, explaining everything about their habitats and why I think they're amazing. I can also share it to many places, but a powerful place that we have built right in is a board. So we can send them to many different places and share them with other people. So now as I'm thinking, oh, I learned about frogs and I'm creating a PebbleGo Create beautiful art masterpiece about frogs. And I talked about lakes. I might want to go back and learn more about lakes. And if I go back into PebbleGo, I can go over here to PebbleGo Next, which also has articles, which we're going to look at. But if I click on science and I go to earth science and I go to hydrosphere, I can go in and I can learn about water sources and I can find lakes. And now what you see on this screen is also research articles, but they're a little bit longer with more content. It still has that supported natural voice audio for us. And if I'm inspired to create another PebbleGo Create creation, I can go down here to create at the bottom and I can start the process over. I can go back and create a new one. I can do an activity, or I can go back and edit the one I was already at. And I can continue the process as your students can be active creators, showing what they know, telling you what they know, and sharing it with their peers. So this is just a little bit about PebbleGo Create, which I hope I've inspired you to go learn more. We welcome you to come to our website and submit an inquiry if you want to reach out. We have webinars. Shannon's created resources with us. We're really excited to bring the power of being able to go and research and consume that information and then create and show what you know all in one environment with one account, making it super easy for you, the educator, and for your students.
Thank you so much, Angie. And as she said, this is something that not only can our kids learn and research and even share the things that they know, but now they also can create within PebbleGo Create. And so one of my dream tools, definitely, we had a great project yesterday with our kindergartners. And when people always say that our little ones are too young to do these things, this is a tool that they will find success no matter what age they are. So I'm really thankful that you joined me today, Angie. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Shannon, and thanks for having Capstone as a part of this.
Well, now I'm so excited to welcome my friend Rusty White from Follett to the show. And Rusty is going to talk about one of my favorite things again, Destiny Collection. So welcome, Rusty.
Thank you. And welcome, everybody. Thanks for your time today. My name is Rusty White. I am a technical consultant with Follett School Solutions. Today, I'm going to go over Destiny Collections and how it can assist teachers and students by using existing library content and external resources in the classroom. And in turn, this will assist students in finding those resources in a centralized solution. And the best part of all of this, it's included with your license of Destiny Library Manager. So like I mentioned, Collections creates a collaborative way to store and share resources with anyone, anywhere. Collections is seamlessly integrated with resources that are within your library and can add visibility and value to items that you already own. Plus, it can add resources from anywhere on the web. So teachers and administrators can create collections to highlight and group materials in the library for use in the classroom. Teachers can add multiple members to their collections to collaborate and help create curriculum and resources and share those within their classroom. This can help empower collaboration and also help boost higher order thinking skills. So how does this help students? For example, students are searching for a particular subject matter for a class project their teacher assigned. And in this instance, I'm using space as my example. The teacher will create the collections beforehand, and they would take those resources, put them in that collection, and then make them available for the students. In addition, students can create their own individual collections, and within those individual collections, they can assign resources to, or they can assign items to resources that they have for projects that they've created. And just like teachers, if given access, students would be able to collaborate and add other students or their friends into help collaborate on their project or report that they created. So think of collections like a scrapbook, sharing books, ebooks, audiobooks, documents, items from the web, and all those resources can be brought into a single collection like you see here. So I've highlighted different materials that I put into this particular collection for my NASA space exploration. So I have books that are in the library, I have videos, I have web pages, and all of these material can be added into these collections like you'd be using in the classroom. And on top of being able to add these items into the collection, administrators can tie these to any grade level, subject, and can also be aligned to educational standards. And on the right-hand side, I have tools that are within collections that make it easy for users to share and collaborate additional instructional resources that they might have out there in Google Drive or Microsoft OneDrive. So users would enter in their credentials, and then once they enter their credentials, they'll be able to access PowerPoints, Word documents, or any resources they have that are within those drives and add those into the collections. And then once all the materials have been added into the collection, teachers, students, and administrators can share these collections to anyone that's within the school, within the district, or if allowed, they can even share those out on the web. Or these collections can be kept private and they can be used at a later time. Along with the different sharing options that I would just mention, users can also create a link that they can send out to users. This link can be an editable link, so they would have this link, they'd have the ability to go into the collections and edit it, or they can put it out as a read-only link. And these links can be shared out in an email. They can also be put into learning management solutions to make them available within like Google Classroom and put those into their lesson plans that teachers are using within the classroom. Once again, making it easy for students to find those resources and use them in their lessons. So I want to thank everyone today for their time. And hopefully this has sparked some interest in how Destiny Collections can help students and teachers access all the resources that are within the library, within the school district, and also out on the web, and collaborate all those together and bring those into the classroom. And for additional information on Destiny Collections or on Library Manager, please go to thefollettcommunity.com, and you can find many different webinars and videos and help tutorials on how to use Destiny Collections or Destiny Discover.
Thank you so much, Rusty. And
Thanks.
I'm excited because for all the resources that we have shared, all 10 things today in our Digital Learning Day webinar, I actually have a collection to share at the end. And so everybody will get to see one if they haven't and use it and try it out. So one of my favorite resources to use in the library. And next up, we have one of my favorite things to use with our kids at Van Meter, our Sphero. We have all kinds of different robots that they have created over the last several years. And I'm thrilled to have Michelle with us today to talk more about this amazing company.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. My name is Michelle Ackley, and I am the Senior Director of Product and Content here at Sphero. And that really is a mouthful. But the reason why we put both product and content together is, we feel very strongly that when we are creating products, that we have a content first approach, that we go into the classroom, we talk to students, we talk to educators about what do they need to really teach the students today, and then we create products to really support that. At Sphero, one thing that we do for our company-wide meetings is we always start with our mission. We want to make sure that we are focused on our greater mission and not just making really fun tools, but going beyond that. So I'm going to start today with that. So our mission here at Sphero is inspiring the creators of tomorrow. And Sphero is transforming pre-K through 12th grade education with accessible tools that encourage exploration, imagination, and perseverance through STEAM and computer science. With the help of educators around the world, we are empowering learners of all backgrounds and abilities to discover their interests and passions while equipping them with the skills they need to be the world's future change makers. So today I know I'm here to talk about digital learning. And a lot of times when we think about digital learning, we think about, let's create some online content to engage students in a new way, but we want to go beyond that. We want to really think about these three words: exploration, imagination, and perseverance. When you think about robots, you think only about computer science, but we go beyond that again by creating cross-curricular activities and lessons to make sure that we are integrating STEAM and computer science into the classroom in something like a reading lesson. So we want to constantly engage students in new ways. And we do that. We don't just talk about that, we do that. So Sphero is the #1 robot in schools. We have over 5 million robots activated. We work with over 40,000 educators worldwide. So we're not just looking at a small group of educators giving us feedback and students. We're working with all diverse types of students and educators using our products in the classroom. And we use these products, the ones that you see here, in a variety of different ways. We want to bring those lessons that you're teaching in the classroom to life with a variety of hands-on learning tools. Today, I'm going to quickly just focus in on 3 of these tools to really see the gamut the range that we cover from that pre-K through 12th grade, as well as how we tie that to digital learning, reading, mathematics, and students' everyday lives. One of the great things about these tools is not only can students use them at school, but they can also use them at home. So I'm going to start with this product. It is one of my favorites, probably because I have kids in this age range, but this is Sphero ND. So Sphero Indie was really made for students pre-K through second grade, really that early learning. At first, you just see a car, but it goes beyond that. So this tool can be used to teach students basic programming skills, basic computational thinking skills, and algorithms. If you see those cards on the right side of the screen, those cards are used to program Indie. It can be a fully screenless experience to teach students the basic sequencing needed for computer science. But again, we try to do more than that, more than just computer science. If you look at that image below, what you see there are these kids engaged in a lesson learning about the three little pigs and learning about basic storytelling, where you have your beginning, your middle, and your end. That is sequencing. That is in computer science. It's all about the algorithm. And so we are bringing something like storytelling to life with computer science in an engaging way that can be fully screenless. You can go beyond the screenless learning with the app that you can see right next to Indie in the middle of the screen, some basic building blocks to change it up, to see how you can change your puzzle, how to change the different colors to react in a very different way. The next product we have, which is our flagship product, is Sphero Bolt. It's a ball, it's a round ball that you can program, but it can go beyond that as well. And teach a variety of lessons in that digital learning space. And this robot is really targeted at 3rd through 8th grade. We know that in that age range, that social emotional learning is really critical. So we have created one of thousands of lessons that cover science, math, engineering, but also some social emotional learning lessons. Again, bringing computer science and engagement into the classroom. These lessons, just for an example, are called empathy. The first one's a compliment giver, where students actually program their robot to give compliments to other students, really thinking beyond themselves. The next lesson is called emotional bumper cars. 3rd through 8th grade, as we all personally know, is like an emotional roller coaster. So it's just, again, bringing that empathy, understanding to students in a brand new way, and not just talking about it, but showing it. And then finally, another example of using something like Sphero Bolt in the classroom beyond just programming is that picture on the bottom right-hand corner. You see these fun little cups. So we saw that a teacher actually brought Reader's Theater into their classroom. They created these cups, they put them on top of Bolt, and they programmed their robots to actually reenact a book that they had read. So again, tying that digital learning back into computer science and hands-on tools. And then finally, I'm going to talk about one last product of our mini is Sphero Rover, which we see mostly used in that 6th through 12th grade range. It is our most expandable robot. You can build on top of it, taking in those engineering skills, really thinking about that imagination. What can I make it become? But then again, we are always creating lessons and ways to use this in the classroom with a lesson that I shared here, which is cybersecurity with Rover Plus and called Digital Footprint, where students actually program Rover to map out their own digital footprint, starting to understand their representation, throughout the greater internet, which we know is a top concern across school districts and parents, but truly understanding what their digital footprint means. So I've shared just a variety of ways that we use our products across the curriculum, but really to engage students in a different way than how you typically see digital learning. So bringing back to our mission is that, encouraging that exploration, imagination, and perseverance, because programming robots isn't always easy. They have to have that perseverance and hopefully become the world's change makers. So again, Thank you so much for having me today. Hopefully you learned a little bit about our robots and what we do here at Sphero and how we impact digital learning, both at school and at home.
Thank you so much. I now have so many more ideas too that we can use, but love all the things and just that you guys always think forward to how you're going to support our kids. So thank you so much for being with us, Michelle. To end our webinar today, I'm really excited to share one of my favorite resources, and it's called the Achievery. The Achievery was created by AT&T in collaboration with Warner Brothers Discovery. And I'm going to share how we, as kindergarten to 12th grade teachers and librarians and families, can share this with our student to really bring that learning to life wherever they're learning, if it's at home, in the community, and in the classroom. Everyone can also sign up for a free Achievery account. It's free for everyone. You can use this link today to sign up for the Achievery and get all the resources that I'm going to share with you. The Achievery was created by AT&T in collaboration with Warner Brothers Discovery. The Achievery helps students connect to a new world of digital learning through stories that spark curiosity and learning content that entertains as well as teaches. The platform features clips from some of the most popular, well-loved movies, TV shows, and cartoons from Warner Brothers and Cartoon Network, paired with lessons and learning activities that students can engage with everywhere they are, at home, in the community, and in the classroom. The Achievery also connects to several different categories across the curriculum, bringing together video clips from the various collaborators to make learning engaging, memorable, and fun. One of the things that I like most too about the Achievery is that it really does provide us with high quality learning activities that we can use then at school, if it's in the classroom or library, or co-teaching and collaborating, and also at home. And one thing that I love is that I can share these things with my families. I can share them with even the public library. If we're having a conversation, maybe it's about digital learning. We have Poetry Month coming up. And it's really neat because all the things that it brings together, these things are free, great resources for everyone that would like to use the Achievery. Some of the examples that we might find: learning the elements of a story from young storytellers. We can go on a poetry scavenger hunt with Amanda Gorman and with the 826 National, which is one of the great collaborators. Learn how to use block coding to create a jumping game from scratch. I love that we learned more from scratch today during the webinar. And then one of the other partners that we had in our webinar today, Bottle Math. You can learn amazing math lessons from our friends there. So let's look at a resource in the Achievery. I just wanted to unpack this a little bit for you so you're ready to go after the webinar and check out the Achievery too. So we're going to just start by exploring the lesson plans and the learning activities at the Achievery. The one that I really liked in the beginning, just to show my teachers and get my kids really excited, were these lessons about different things with the speaking and listening, tying into those standards, and also tying into some of the standards from CASEL, so those SEL standards too, to use Scooby-Doo. And so these are so neat because you can find the different lesson plans. The little arrow means that that is a video. And then right underneath is where you would download the lesson plan. And so when you click on that arrow, you'd be able to play the video to your kids in the classroom. It's also nice because they're not super long. They're just that right amount. And so, for example, this one is 3 minutes long. And the lessons are really great. It says on there, what it fits into, those standards that we want to hit, and then all about that learning unit that we are teaching with that video. And so it really extends that learning. And then this is an example for our high school kids. And this is the one I showed too when I was showing my teachers and collaborating with them and kicking it off using it with our students, was Wonder Woman. And again, this is another one that ties into the reading, speaking, listening, and writing skills, and then that castle, that relationship skills and social awareness. I also just adore everything that the Young Storytellers, that organization does. And so they have partnered with Warner Brothers to bring us this lesson. But you'll find that you see the lesson plans again, the videos, and then downloading those great lesson plans that they have just from the site. And these, I think, they're really good example of the great lesson plans that are included in the Achievery. Today, too, when I was just getting ready to share with all of you, I couldn't believe all the things that they recently added. I mentioned earlier that we've been thinking about Poetry Month. I just saw something on their social media talking about like Pi Day. And when you look through here, if you are looking for a certain content or certain level, maybe you're looking specifically like for scratch lessons or something that ties into young storytellers, no matter what it is, it makes it really easy to be able to find these and either search within those standards that I showed earlier, or even just browsing and looking through the videos. I find that kind of fun too. So sign up today for free, everyone, at this link and check out the Achievery. Again, you use it yourself, but a great one to share with every single person within your school community. It's free for everyone. They're adding things all the time. And I'm just really grateful that AT&T has collaborated with all these people to give us this great site. I don't know about all of you, but I have so many things to check out after that. Thank you to all my guests for everything that you shared. So I have a few last resources to share. One is a collection by Destiny of all of the slides that were shared by our guests, and also a link to get to the resources that they shared. And so you want to go to this bit.ly and you'll be able to follow that collection. Feel free to share that too. We're going to pop the video in there afterwards, the recording of this webinar. So you'll have everything handy in this collection by Destiny. I also wanted to share the Student Health and Wellness Guide. This is in partnership with Future Ready and Harmony, a great resource, not only for you, but to share with your school community for preschool to 6th grade teachers. And so I think this is a really important resource to share as well for Digital Learning Day. Now, if you are looking to find more information out about the Future Ready Leadership Strands, you can find it at this link at the bottom of the slide. And also for networking, make sure that you go to our Facebook groups. This is a great place to support your work and build your network and learn and connect with others. Have to give a shout out for our Future Ready Librarian Facebook group. Amazing place for librarians, but also for others too. And so we would love to have you. And our podcast, our Future Ready School podcast, are just so informative and exciting to learn with all of the guests and the people that we have had on the show over the years. We're getting ready to kick off season 6 of the Future Ready Librarian podcast. And I just learned so much from my guests, but also by listening to the other podcasts that we have too. You can pick these up anywhere you subscribe to podcasts and also find them at the link at the bottom. The webinars we have throughout the year are also another amazing way to learn and connect and even be able to share these resources with others within your school community. You can find the webinars for all of our different strands at this link at the bottom. We're excited because Mark Ray, my partner, and I, we have a summit coming up for Future Ready Librarians on April 1st. Feel free to go to this link and to check it out. It is linked in the slides, so you'll be able to click on that and register to join us for the summit. And then another thing that I wanted to share is our Future Ready Schools Leadership Forum. We're getting ready in June to have our third forum. These have been just amazing all-day events. And this is in partnership with some really great people and supporters of education, Future Ready Schools. It's powered by Capstone. And then our other partners are ISTE and UPenn. And this time we're going to be in Butler County in Ohio to host a all-day forum around creating a culture of excellence and innovation. And so we hope you can join us for that too. But thank you so much for joining us today for Digital Learning Day. Always one of my favorite days of the year. And I can't wait to see what you and your school district does around digital learning for your kids. And we will see you next year.